This is it. This is the moment your entire week, the culmination, the climax, the Play PSVR episode of the week. Congratulations. You made it to yet another episode. This week, can't wait. We have VRGrid to join us in the second segment. We have a PSVR March Madness Bracket we'll explain later in the third segment. It's going to be a long one, folks. We're going to try to make this segment short because we have so much goodness coming up. And you know what's even most exciting? I'm going to rip Alex a new one. We're all just going to be ripping him a new one here on the podcast. So, oh my gosh, you suck, Alex. Let me tell you what. If it starts to smell, blame it on the dog and avoid eye contact. Honestly, the only thing I want to avoid eye contact from is from freaking Verti-GO home because the game effing sucks. What do you think about that, Alex? You know, I don't even care about you. Tell me what your gamer juice is.
Hey, Adam. It's nice to meet you. I'm having a great week with you. My gamer juice this week is Come and Go unsweetened tea. Come and Go unsweetened tea from the Come and Go gas station, my favorite gas station. They're not sponsoring the podcast. They just sponsor my thirst. Come and Go unsweetened tea.
Come and Go. Okay. I have a sparkling ice kiwi strawberry sparkling water. It's very fruity. It's pink. It's good stuff though. It's good. It's not my favorite. They have this ginger something that, oh my gosh, is it incredible. This is all right. I haven't had it before. That's my gamer juice of the night though, so it's not too bad. I'm enjoying it. And Alex, real quick, I gotta cover Verti-GO home because I hate it. You're gonna tell us about new games, but what's one quick game that you've been playing this week and very fast initial thoughts?
I played the Wizards on the Golden Stream. It is a little bit better than Mage's Tale, but it's not a great game. I'd probably give it a 5.5 or 6 out of 10.
Oof. By the way, play PSVR Golden Stream every Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern. Be there, be square, go F yourself.
Come holla at your boys.
That's right. Now, what we aren't going to play this week is going to be Verti-GO home on our Golden Stream because that would be horrible. And here's the thing, Alex. You should go effing home because the game sucks. I had a hard time getting past level 3. It's a little bit of a learning curve. I finally did it, and it's just the same obstacles over and over. It's kind of trippy, kind of like on acid. That's kind of cool, but it's so boring. After the first 10 levels, it's just like the same thing over and over. Like I said, the visuals are kind of cool, but honestly, it's just as much fun watching someone else play it than you playing it, and it's less aggravating when you watch someone play it because you're not the one sitting there losing and having to replay the level because then you could just doze off or do something else while the other person is playing. So here's my recommendation, people. Watch it being played. Do not play it. That's my thoughts. Come at me.
Those are bad thoughts, Adam. So here's what I want to say. It's no surprise to me that you don't understand Verti-GO home. Yeah, if you look at it at the basic level, it's just basically a game. Yeah, it's nothing special. It's not just a game. Read my review on the website. It's not a game. It's a work of art. It's almost performance art. I liken Verti-GO home to like the Andy Kaufman of PlayStation VR. You know, when Andy Kaufman did that whole stunt where he was a bad guy wrestler, yeah, people got mad. They're like, oh, he's not even a good wrestler. Yeah, of course he's not a good wrestler. That's not the point. He wanted to be a bad guy, and he wanted to enjoy being a bad guy. Verti-GO home, I love the game. It's going to sound bad when I say this, but I mean this in the best way. Verti-GO home wants to be a bad game, and it wants to relish in being a bad game. The developers, it's like they put effort into making you experience this kind of like kludgy, clunky game design. But even behind the scenes, they really heavily optimize it. They're making it run so fast. It's ridiculous. It's a work of art, Adam, and you don't strike me as the kind of guy who's ready to view VR games as art. You just want to play the game, shoot your load, and get out of there.
That's right. And talking about shooting loads, let's talk about the new games this week because we got 6 of them. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, right. So first up, let me start because I want to start. It's a Tale of the Fragmented Star, single fragment version. Here's the synopsis. A lone girl stands abandoned on a broken star. There exists a point on the star that intersects with another world. By standing on this convergence point and wearing the other world viewing device, which is the VR unit, you can communicate with the girl and solve puzzles to help her leave. Sounds bad. I do not want to play this. You might as well play Hatsune Miku or another big busty woman game. So I'm not playing this.
It sounds like a mix of Kyrie Mashlight and the what's it called? Where you're climbing up the stairs and of the light tracer. And I'm kind of interested in it, but something makes me think it's really just going to be going for the cute anime girl, and that's about it. So I can't get too excited about it, but we'll see. Up next on the list, we have Space Junkies. There's a free beta out right now. It's running until the 24th. I don't know if you're going to be listening to this by the time it's done. I want to play it. It sounds and looks, and it makes me think of like a detached game mixed with VR, like multiplayer combat. I've heard people say it's kind of like, whatchamacallit? It's kind of like Starship Arena. What's that game that came out that's about to go down? Starblood Arena.
Starblood, yeah.
Kind of like that, but you're people. It's also crossplay with PC players, so you're probably going to get owned. But I haven't played it. I want to play it, and I'm interested in this kind of stuff. You know, Ubisoft, they're wanting to put out products. Let's support it.
That's right. Next is Skyworld, where you put the power of an army at your fingertips, conquer all the worlds, and wage war against friends online. Put the power of a full army, which they literally just said, even dragons at your fingertips in the Sky World. The award-winning VR war game from the creators of Arizona Sunshine. I wouldn't brag about that.
So,
you see what I did there? I made myself laugh, literally. Seriously, Arizona Sunshine, you said.
But the Arizona Sunshine guys made Fisherman's Tale, and I love that. I'm interested in this game. I'm all about this tabletop, like combat type game. That's what this kind of I get the vibe from. I haven't seen a trailer for it. Just the picture I see of the game makes me think of that. What's up with all these games coming out this week? What happened last week or 2 weeks ago? You know, why are we getting like 8 games this week?
How is it an award-winning VR game if it's not even out yet?
That's a good question. I don't know. They might have won something at like a E3 or something like that. Anyways, up next we have Counterfight. Now hold your horses. It's not a fighting game. Enjoy the thrills of running your own ramen shop. Counterfight is a fast-paced VR game where you cook and serve a variety of dishes to eccentric, hungry customers. I have no idea what this game is going to be like.
Yep, I'm buying it. It's game over. I'm going to be selling ramen like it's my birthday. Holy crap. Is this going to be a stupid game? I can't wait. I'm going to be tearing into this next week like it's stuffing in a dog toy.
All right. That's a good, yeah.
That's right. So next is Cave Diggers Riches. Cave Digger is a VR mining game set in an alternate Western universe. Jump into an elevator that takes you deep down into the mine and explore the rich veins that are just waiting for the honest, hard workers to whack their pickaxes at. They had to use the verb whack? Why?
Because you're going to go deep down and honestly whack it.
Yeah, we love whacking it. All right, this... I don't even know. I think we are going to get a code for this. I don't know what to expect. I honestly would rather play Counterfight because I feel like Counterfight's going to be easier to make fun of. So that's where I stand here.
For some reason, I have it in my head that Cave Digger is actually like a game, like a well-respected game from the PSVR arena. So I have some kind of anticipation for it, but I don't know where that comes from, and I haven't researched it. But up next on the list, the big release coming out this week is Angry Birds VR. And you laugh, but Rovio made more money than Jesus when they did Angry Birds, and now they are releasing. You know, when they have enough money to throw around, they can make sure there's going to be quality. And the Angry Birds movie was surprisingly good, I thought, and I have no doubt that, you know, with enough money you can get a decent game pushed out. And I bet Angry Birds VR is probably going to be kind of fun, shooting guys out with a slingshot. It looks like it could be a fun time to me. I know Adam's probably skeptical, but are you looking forward to Angry Birds VR at all, Adam?
I, once again, would rather play Counterfight because I know what Angry Birds is going to be. It's going to be one of those games that's like, it's not bad. And I'm so sick of those games at this point in PSVR. I'm so sick of just the average games. And so, no, I'm not that excited for it. Whatever. You know, just what the F ever.
I'll play it then. I don't need you to play it. Well, we're going to cut this segment short so you guys can enjoy the other 2 segments. They're pretty lengthy. So just up next, stay tuned. Listen, we got VRGrid coming on to argue with us, and that's always a good time. And then following that, we have a special treat for you. So get excited and listen to segment 2 and segment 3 coming up next.
They're lengthy like me.
For the people in the middle or the alley wanna bump and everybody who's skating, people snuck up in the trunk. For the people in the middle or the alley wanna bump and everybody who's skating, people snuck up in the trunk. For the people in the middle or the alley wanna bump and everybody who's skating, people snuck up in the trunk. For the people in the middle or the alley wanna bump and everybody who's skating, people snuck up in the trunk. It's not a toy. 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 It's not a toy.
Hello, and welcome back to PlayPSVR, the podcast. This is segment 2, and we are welcoming the delicious, the scrumptious, the bastard himself, the VRGrid. Are you with us, VRGrid?
What is going on, my brothers from another mother?
Yeah, nothing much, man. We're just getting angry about VR and getting angry at people getting angry at us, man.
That's why I'm here. I gotta get you guys back in the positive. It's not always about the negative. And last week's episode, I was fuming. I was in a rage, and now I'm here.
We do it for the clicks, man. We just want to get your emotions rising so that we can get those click, 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 and just make that money. You know, we're all about that cash.
How those clicks working out for you? Because I'm suffering over here.
I'll have you know I got 3 clicks last week. But moving on.
Wait, what did you say? You got 3 dicks?
That's exactly what I said, Adam. You jealous?
That's actually a good thing. That's actually a good thing.
So, you're coming in. And of course, anytime we have a guest on, we have one thing we got to ask. Adam and I already went over ours, but we need to know, man, what is your gamer juice this week?
Last time I was on here, I believe I was drinking vodka cran, and this week I've decided to mix it up. I'm drinking a rum and coke.
Rum and coke. Adam, vodka cran's probably good for your prostate, according to you. What is rum and coke good for?
That is good to just flush away all the horrible memories of these trashy games that we've been having to play lately.
All right, that's a valuable contribution to the beverages.
That is, and let me tell you what. I'm just gonna, since VRGrid's here, I'm just gonna start it. I'm gonna start it and let's get it over with. We haven't said our airing of grievances yet. I want to hear VRGrid's airing of grievance, but I want to start, okay? I want to start here, guys. And we'll see what VRGrid thinks about this, too. Is my airing of grievance for this week is Alex. Dude, F you. You can Verti-GO suck yourself off. You rated that stupid game at 8, and you are a moron. You are the reason that no one trusts VR anymore because they're looking at these people with websites who have videos and are reviewing the game. You gave that an 8. They trust you, and then you boned them up the butt with an 8 for that. You're a disgrace. Here's the thing. I played the game. I'm at like probably mid-20s, the level, and I had to stop. It was the same thing. I've already discussed it in the first segment on how I didn't like it. I'd rather suck turds out of the turtlet with my tongue, as the ladle. That game is bad. The fact you gave it an 8 is just I can't even begin. What are you thinking? What are you doing? Like,
I'm with Adam on this one.
What?
I don't hate the game, but an 8 is an insane score.
You're an insane score. And Adam, it's pronounced ladle, you big idiot. Here's what I'm going to talk about. Adam mispronounced the word ladle. Are you done with your grievance?
No.
Okay.
You think it's as good as Pop-Up Pilgrims? Are you mad? I hate you so much. It's like Resident Evil 7 gets a 7, or a 7, a 9, and To the Top gets a 9. Wait, what's right below it? Verti-GO home. Yeah, you should go home, you butt.
I agree. That's awful. An 8, that is crazy. That is an insane score for an okay game for, what, $12? An 8? That's insane, buddy.
You guys don't freaking get it. You don't freaking get it, okay? Here I am. We come into this scene. We're in the PSVR scene. Everybody's just wanting to play freaking video games, man. We're content to just play freaking video games. Mage's Tale comes out. I could throw a fireball. All right, we are officially transitioning into my airing of grievance. I was going to complain about the state of play replacing E3 this year because I wanted to go to E3, but enough of that crap. Adam has brought me into this arena. VRGrid has brought me into this arena. I'm going to tear you guys up from the inside out, get up in that ass, and leave wreckage in there. Here's what I'm talking about, man. You guys are getting upset that I'm saying Verti-GO Home is an 8 out of 10. VR, we're all excited about video games. We love video games, but it's not just about video games, man. VR is something special. We can do new things in VR. I'm all about pushing the medium forward. And if you guys are content to just play Mage's Tale and throw fireballs against one-dimensional enemies, or play Wizards and have this one-dimensional combat with this stupid puzzles that we've seen 100 times before. I have seen this kind of game 100 times before. The input is different. I can look around with my head, but I've seen it a million times. Verti-Go Home brings something tried and true, like the Endless Runner that we have seen before, but the shell that it has wrapped it in, the duty-covered toilet paper that it wraps you up in, combined with the music that it pounds into your ears, and the overall feeling, you can feel the developers almost have an active disdain for you. They do not care. They give zero shits how you feel when you're playing this game, and that is the whole point. And the sweet, sweet irony of it is that this is one of the most optimized games for PSVR. The thing is running at a sweet 90 frames per second the entire freaking time. You're going like 100 miles an hour, and it's not stuttering one bit. I know there's not much going on. It's like a screensaver. It's the most basic of Unity assets, but that is the purpose. The purpose is to get you in this freaking game, get you going through this freaking tunnel, listening to this freaking music. We don't care. We don't care. You're going through the tunnel. You're going as fast as you can, and it's something new, and it's different, and it leaves you the feeling. And here we are having this raucous debate about this game, whereas with Wizards and Mage's Tale, it's like, yeah, it's good, okay, it's bad, whatever. This is what I'm talking about, man. We can do this with games. Games can make us talk about, like, VR games can make us do this.
There's Hex
You
Tunnel.
don't get it. Get it with me.
I agree. There's Hex Tunnel. There's Polybius. I mean, you could throw. There's one other one as well. I mean, this is basically Radial G with like shittier obstacles. Like it's nothing. You're not playing like. I mean, now I don't want to shut Verti-Go Home. If the guys, if the Verti-Go Home guys are watching this, I apologize. But like this game is not an amazing game. It's all right. It's great as a distraction. I mean, the leaderboards consist of either lasting the longest, which is good, or just playing the most. That's it.
No, it's literally Alex. Alex is number one.
Yeah, because he played the most. Congratulations. Everyone else gave up, and you kept playing when everyone else got sick of it.
And you guys are surprised that I'm the only one that can actually see the truth in this game.
And then you can sit there and smash Mage's Tale and the Wizards, which I know you both dislike, as games that like the developers don't care. Have you heard the soundtrack in Verti-Go Home? No one gave a crap when they submitted that for music.
It's not a toy.
That is the beauty of it. Okay, here's
stop sign, street light.
Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna get mine.
And I appreciate the irony of it because it's ironically bad, but it's not good.
No. So here's my problem is you guys harp on me for giving it an 8 out of 10. Did you read the review? Read the review. I explain it. And this is another grief I have is people they see the score and that's all they care about in the review. There's no hidden irony in my review, but there's a reason why I gave it an 8. And I explain it in the review and I can't spill it out here. What? Because
you're insane.
Maybe I'm insane, but that's the point. If a game can bring my insanity out in that regard, then it deserves some recognition. You know, it's something I heard this first term used to describe Rez, and I think it applies here, even though this game isn't as good as Rez. I'll admit it. You know, Verti-Go Home's not an all-time classic. It's a really good game, I think, and I think it's a piece of art, which is separate from being a really good game.
Score Rez?
What do I score, Rez? I'd give Rez like a 9.5 or something. Rez is a masterpiece. But,
hey, Alex.
So this is 1.5 points below that, is what
dude,
you're saying.
The points are arbitrary in this discussion.
Dude, guess what we rated Moss? Guess what the PlayPSVR score of Moss was, Alex?
What you rated Moss because you're afraid to fall for something cute.
An 8. We gave Moss an 8.
I agree with that, man.
And guess what? You gave Verti-Go Home an 8.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, let's do it. Verti-Go Home is greater than the sum of its parts. Yeah, the music is a turd, and they meant it. And the music is so bad that it becomes so good that it goes beyond that. It goes from so bad.
The gameplay is bad. The value is bad. The music
so bad it's good to just freaking good.
So basic. Left, right, left, right, left. Right, and
that's
look, there's fun. There is fun in that. I get that. There is not fun in that. You said you played for 3 hours?
And I'm going to play for more, dude.
I think I have a code for Summer Funland. I'm going to just give it to you guys, just so you don't, you played that for 3 hours? In one session? That's insane. Man. That is absolutely insane.
Here's the thing. So really, in the leaderboards, at least of my friends, I don't know where he is nationally, he is first by a landslide. The next person to him, I think, is Wolfie, and he has a third of Alex's points, both distance and time run.
When I finished playing, I had the worldwide record for the longest run without getting a collision, and I was like 15th in the world for the longest distance traveled overall.
Worst brag ever.
Wait a minute, you had the smelliest poop. Goodbye.
Yeah, right?
Okay, VRGrid, I'm sure you're going to be coming at us, so go ahead, unleash.
So my airing of grievances has to do with Adam of the PlayPSVR podcast and Alex, thus making the PlayPSVR podcast my grievance of like the month. Look, and last episode,
where's the turn off button?
I listened to it twice because the first time I listened to it, I was like, man, these guys are riding the hate train hard, and I get it. I do understand where you're coming from. You don't like Beat Saber songs? Sure, whatever. You don't like them. I don't really care for them either. But to be like, $1.20 for a song is way too much for a song because the original package had way more. That's not like we're getting a song for like just over $1 a pop. It's fine. You don't like the music? I mean, you can.
Sounds like a donkey's pooping in my ear, dude.
You can buy them individually if you want. You only like 2 songs? You should listen to them first. You have the option. I mean, YouTube's available.
It ruins it.
You ruin it. So anyways, so Beat Saber DLC is whatever. Like I said, I don't really care for it, but to just sit there and be like, it's the worst ever and blah, 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 custom songs. No. And then Mage's Tale and the Wizards both being, I'm not going to deny they are very similar games. I will concede that point. They are very similar. But to say either one is a bad game, I think you got to give them a 6, which isn't necessarily bad. But you really, trashed on them for being.
They're above average. They are slightly above average.
That's a bad statement. Oh, no, okay. Hey, I love that because that's how I grade my scores too. And a lot of people don't. But you put it just above average when both games feature a full-length campaign. Mage's Tale especially has a very lengthy campaign, and you
have to play twice because it breaks.
It didn't break for me. You said it's very samey. You do the same things over and over. The combat's the same. That describes every game ever. Like, oh man, Call of Duty. The 5th mission. I'm still shooting guys. This is crazy. Like, why can't I solve a puzzle in Call of Duty? So, I get where you're coming from. And like I said, you didn't like give the game like a 2 out of 10 and say it's a write-off. But I think there's just a little too much hate. I think you guys are just riding a hate train. It's been a wave of negativity. You summarized the year. Saying that we've only had 3. I think you guys came down to saying there's 3 above average games in the year. You gave it to Chromagun, Fisherman's Tale, and Zing. And you went through the list
Verti-GO Home.
Not Verti-GO Home. And you went through the list of games. And the list of games, I went through the same list that Adam did. And you went through just the Sony list. You didn't mention Ace Combat, which I don't think either of you played. Did either of you play Ace Combat?
Oh, I own it, man. I've almost beaten it, and we should have included that, but it wasn't really a full-on VR game. I have a hard time including that.
I agree, but it's still amazing. That to me was one of the most mind-blowing VR experiences I've had in the last year. I think before this was Detached. Detached for me was something special. But since then, I've had no big wow moments in VR, like VR moments. And Ace Combat, I was Maverick. It was crazy. It doesn't matter. I mean, my point being, you missed that one. I wanted to mention it anyways, just so viewers knew. I mean, I know it's a full.
Okay. Well, before we go on, so what would you rather play? I'm just let's consider Mage's Tale and Wizard because they are very similar. Let's say, would you rather play one of those or Tetris Effect?
One of those. I love Tetris. I played Tetris since I was a kid, but it's like a small doses thing. I play Tetris for half an hour. I've kind of got my fix. Whereas Mage's Tale and Wizards, I liked it. I enjoyed the combat. You're not wrong. The Wizards definitely had the, spawn a fireball, throw a fireball, and then watch it go the wrong way. It had jank, but it wasn't broken.
That's one of 6 means of combat, and it is completely broken because it's unreliable. If you cannot rely on a mode of combat to be effective 90% of the time.
I beat the game with a fireball. I was using fireballs for 90% of my attacks. That was my one complaint, is that any of their spells, I mean, that one spell with the diamonds, I had a hell of a time. I had a hell of a time with that one. Like, I'm not going to concede that. I mean, there is some jank to the move tracking. And then once again, Adam was like, and they use the moves, like the worst tracking method for VR. It's the only option we have for PSVR unless you want to use DualShock. And I don't want to use DualShock.
there are ways around the issues that I have with the Mage's Tail. I already mentioned one. For example, forget locking on with my head. I have 2 aim controllers. You're only letting me throw a fireball with 1 aim controller. Let me use the other aim controller to point somewhere and then hit a button and lock onto it that way, then throw the fireball. Just let it launch. I don't care if I'm being accurate or not, like I'm a sniper with these freaking fireballs, man. The whole point is to throw fireballs and have them go where I want them to go because I'm a freaking wizard, man. I'm a freaking wizard. I'm not some, like, cockeyed, one-armed parrot trying to shoot fireballs out of my mouth or something.
All right, fine. Look, I'm not gonna say I get it. I've scored games super low too, so I'm not saying you guys are wrong. You guys have very valid points, but you're wrong. Anyways, next topic is gonna be your you went through the list of games that Adam wouldn't buy. He said no to games. You went through your list like you typically do, and this has been a grievance for a very long time. I understand being frugal. I get it. Not everyone is made of money. I most certainly not made of money, but to shit on games like Psychonauts, $4. No. Have you played Psychonauts?
No, because it sucks.
Because it's $4.
Oh my god, it's $4. You'll say yes.
That's why it's $4.
Surgeon Simulator. That game came out busted as F. And you were like, probably. But you'll say no to, like, Lethal VR was it's all right. It's not amazing.
Sucks.
It doesn't suck. It's all right. Eagle Flight for, I think that's like, what, $7? You said no. Look, I scored Eagle Flight a 5.5 out of 10. I put it barely below average, but for $7, it gives you a pretty good VR experience, and you know it's Ubisoft again.
But you got to think about not only the monetary value, but the time investment. I imagine, like, you're a busy guy.
You could pull an hour or two at Eagle Flight before you got sick of it. Well worth $7.
No way, man. I would rather have the hour back until you play Persistence or play one of the other freaking...
I've already beaten Persistence, Adam. I'm looking for something new.
Well, see, what's new? Why do you need something new? You got Ultra Wings. That's flying.
What I'm seeing... What I'm hearing is that you have a very low bar for what you consider acceptable. I'm not in this for a pretty good experience. I got pretty good experiences for the first 30 years of my life playing these flat games.
No, this Verti-GO home guy. You have no rat in this race. Verti-GO home. I'm waiting for the Verti-GO home 2. Where's my Verti-GO home sequel? Are you kidding me?
You better believe I would be getting that day one. I'm telling you, Verti-GO home is something different. It is not evaluated on this list whatsoever.
So, and then Arizona Sunshine, $12. You said no to that. Souls Project, $6. No to that. VR Worlds, $5. No to VR Worlds.
Wait, VR Worlds.
Hey,
sir. I recently purchased VR Worlds for $5. I played it. I don't think it was worth. I mean, it's
in your face, VRGrid.
That's insane. You can't. VR Worlds is not worth $5.
But the thing is, I wouldn't.
Why do you have
someone was like, "Hey, Adam,
your headsets." Just both of you, just pack them up, put them in a box, go buy a Switch and play the Labo VR, because apparently you don't like great VR experiences.
Okay, so if someone came up to me and said, "Hey, VR Worlds is $5. Should I buy it?" What I would tell them is it's probably worth the $5, but I don't think it's good and it's not worth your time. I personally would not suggest that you buy it. That's what I would say.
London Heist? You didn't dig London Heist?
I mean, it's good, but it's nothing, like, it's not new. The Danger Ball is a complete waste of time. No. The Ocean Descent is cool if you're showing VR to your mom.
I have.
Well, it's me too. And she was like, okay. She wasn't even impressed. So I just think there's cooler things than VR Worlds. And again, between the time, it's a big issue with the time. I think there's cooler stuff out there.
I think Adam has a good point. The time is an issue for sure. Like, I don't have time to play games unless I'm reviewing it. I don't have free time to play games that aren't going to be something special. And I get disappointed when I play a game like The Wizards or Mage's Tale, and I expect something special, and I get something that it's just a game. And it's not even a polished game at that. So it's like, what am I even doing here? I think part of the issue is Adam comes at these games, especially when we talk about sales, as like really the worst thing that can happen is you purchase a game and regret it. And I think it's because Adam's been burned by Tetris Effect and Firewall Zero Hour, these $30 games he buys and he regrets the purchase. Adam's looking out for the consumer, man. Now, guys like you and me, we play a lot of games, and we can put up with some crap, and we can drop fat stacks. Adam is living in a cardboard box. The reason he has VR is because he can't afford a TV. That's why Adam has that. So he has to be very frugal with his pennies when he's purchasing these games.
I'm living in a Nintendo Labo, man. Come at me.
I respect Adam's opinions, and lots of people out there are of the same mindset. But there are some out there who maybe have $10 to spare, who maybe should buy Drive Club, who you also said no to. $7 for Drive Club you say no to? It's the only complete race game you have on the PSVR, and you're going to say no to that?
Dude, but you, if I bought all the games, you said, oh, buy these on sale, that's like $80, I bet, by the time you tell me all these games to buy.
Like 60 hours of gameplay.
I know, but if it's 60 hours of average gameplay, I would rather spend that $80 on, a game that is fantastic, that I'm going to get the same, like, To the Top. So good. I probably put 30 hours into the top, and for that $20, it was a unique experience. It was better, even at full price. So, I think what you're saying is fair. I've been told that, I should probably buy some more on-sale games. You're not the only one, but I don't know, man.
I said, I hear where you're coming from, but I really wanted to put out the counterpoint in there and just say some of these games that are on sale are definitely worth people's attention. A time factor, sure, but if you have $8 lying around and you want a driving game, Drive Club, Gun Club. You said Gun Club, no to Gun Club. I mean, it's just a shooting range game, but it's the best shooting range game we got, and it's entertaining as hell. And it gets my recommendation. It's just a bunch of games. I'm not saying it's the other side. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm right, and we'll go from there.
Dude, here's the thing that really fists my butthole is the fact that I am very difficult on games, and I do not recommend people buy many games. But when I do, idiots like Alex don't buy the games that I recommend. For me to recommend a game, because I am so stingy and I have such a high bar, when I recommend a game, it is a great game. It is a unique experience, and it is the best of the best. But when I recommend a game like Stifled, Butthole McGee over here is too busy fisting his butthole to buy it and experience it. Screw you, Alex. You're another airing a grievance.
One, I bought Stifled, and two, you're the guy who recommended 100-foot robot golf.
Ooh.
Yeah, dog.
The game's so bad they had to release it twice to try to fake you out into buying it again, making you think it's fixed.
I don't even know what that means.
They literally released it twice on the store as if you're going to forget and you're going to buy it again.
Yeah, we went back to the top of the new releases pile.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. The game, it had a Verti-Go home type of feel to me, but I would never rate it an 8. I would rate it like maybe a 6.
It's because it's not a work of art like Verti-Go.
Yeah, I think me and Adam are very similar mindset with a different end game. Like at the end of my reviews, I always say like, "What's this worth?" And I say like, "This is worth $20. A $20 game is worth $20. It's worth your time." I'll say it's worth $10, which means like it's not great. Wait for a sale, but at $10, you'll get your value for that kind of thing. We're of the same mindset. He's just a little more like, I only play 8s, which means he never plays VR games, I guess, except for to go home. So.
Oh, no, I play them. I just regret playing them. That's my issue. And no, I don't want that for the viewers. Okay, so you want to roll. Is that the only thing you want to tear into?
It's not my only thing. You bitched about last week how there was no games. You had like 3 games. You had like, what was coming? Blood and Truth. You mentioned something else. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You didn't mention like Jupiter and Mars, Everyone's Golf, Trover Saves Universe, Vacation Simulator, End of the Beginning, maybe Star Child, Falcon Age, Ghost Giant, Wolfenstein Cyber Pilot.
But we don't know what any of that stuff's
and
coming
Witching
out.
Tower. It's all Slave 2019 as of right now. You never know what's going to change. Oh, and Gollum. Don't forget Gollum. But that was a joke.
Yeah.
Even though they just said they just showed footage at PAX. They're showing footage at PAX. But all those games are slated for 2019. I mean, Vacation Simulator is July. They've already said July. I think Trover says spring. Falcon Age, I think, is
That's so long. That is
second quarter is like 2 months away.
2019.
Oh my
2
god!
months?
So, look, I'm not saying we have been getting. Like I said, we went through the list of games we've gotten from January till now. It's not impressive. I mean, you guys picked out 3 titles. I'm more inclined to pick out 6 or 7. But I mean,
Six or seven. Oh.
3 months. We're 3 months deep, and even if I were to say 6 or 7, we're talking about 2 titles per month that are worth playing, which is way too low for VR. And you guys are half that. And you're not wrong. The quality of games, we're still getting smaller games. Not to say they're going to be bad or awful. I mean, Fisherman's Tale was a tiny game, and it's by far one of my favorite experiences this year. It blew me away. I mean, I've always said in any of my videos, I love the use of scale. It's totally underutilized in VR. I want to see big, giant things and small things. And Fisherman's Tale literally must have been reading my mind, because when I played that game, I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I want in VR. I got giant stuff, and there's giant stuff behind it, and there's tiny stuff, and there's teeny, tiny stuff. It was great.
Is that why you like talking to me and Adam? You get the big one and the small one?
Yes, that's exactly what I was going for there.
It's a penis joke. Adam's got the small one.
No. And hey, while you mentioned that, I want to give a very quick shout out to Mike. He actually emailed us today, and he literally said, hey, here's some upcoming games. Here's Blood and Truth coming out on the 29th of May. Trover Saves the Universe coming out. Sharknado's coming out in April. You said that looked lame, which is hilarious. But so thanks for watching out for us, Mike. Apparently he listened to us, and you guys don't think we can Google. But, you know, that's all right.
Because we can't.
Or we don't. Maybe one of the two.
So, yeah. So the whole point of my little appearance here was to kind of put a little bit, like, the games are coming. I mean, we are getting good stuff. I mean, there's, you know, a lot of dates aren't coming yet. But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff slated. Hopefully it shows up. I mean, you know, like Alex brought up that they are doing their Days of Play, whatever the heck Sony's doing now. But hopefully games should come from that. PAX is coming soon. GDC. I've heard rumors that a lot of stuff is coming post GDC. So expect more game announcements. But yeah, I mean, we're definitely in a weird time. It's the same as last year. Last year was pretty poopy too at this time of year. And then suddenly the second half of the year, everyone was blown away because we got like every great game of last year basically came out in the second half. And I'm expecting this year's going to be kind of the same. But I know PSVR is not close to dead. It's going to be good, and we're going to get good stuff.
So I don't think that there's no good stuff. I think a lot of the negativity I feel about PSVR games or the library this year stems from Mage's Tale and The Wizards, both games that I was pretty hyped, and I was excited that we were getting both of them. And they both just fell so flat for me. I just don't even know how to – I have a hard time.
He just keeps going back to Mage's Tale.
Okay, no, because they were like the big releases of this year. You know, for this month and the month preceding it and the month after, these are like the game Mage's Tale and Wizards, and they're going to get 3D rudder support, and you're going to lose your freaking mind. You're going to be a wizard. Turns out that they are the exact freaking game. There's like a logic. Can you throw fireballs? That's both of them. Do you have a sidekick? That's both of them. Do you have a snarky sidekick saying snarky, witty things in like a British accent? That's both of them. Are you looking for your old apprentice? That's both of them. Are you fighting goblins? That's both of them. Do some of the goblins have armor? That's both. It's like I can literally just write a description. I'm going to write a review of Mage's Tale, and then I'm just going to copy and paste it and write that as my review of Wizards, because they're both pieces of turd with their half-hearted mechanics. Ugh. It makes me so. Okay. This is it, and maybe this is why I like Verti-Go Home so much, is that it tried to do something different. At least it's not just Mage's Tale.
It wasn't different.
It was different. It was different, and you.
We only run and when we're walking. Oh yeah, crazy.
That's right.
Look at that. They had the balls to put that in your ear, and you had to sit there and freaking listen to it.
I'm not giving them respect for that.
Okay, I do have a question for you, VRGrid. So,
Sure.
Ignore the plot. And ignore, I don't know, you can consider length if you want. So you've got 3 options. You've got Mage's Tale, you've got The Wizards, or you've got Skyrim where you play as a spellcasting character. Which do you choose?
It's funny, I was going to bring this up here because I think it's a totally unfair comparison. And I'd still choose either Mage's Tale or Wizards. Like I said, they're both very similar games. I scored them almost identically. And the only reason why I wouldn't pick Skyrim is because I played Skyrim to death out of VR. And I played Skyrim in VR. I think I'm up to like 16 hours, but I killed it. I played that game. I did everything I could. So playing in VR was amazing, but it just had that been there, done that feeling. Okay, and it's not fair to compare. Oh, no. It's not fair to compare a AAA developed game. I don't even care if it was 6 years ago. It was a AAA, or 7 years ago now. AAA developed game to 2 games made by indie studios, because you're comparing I got nothing. Nothing's coming to mind. You're comparing Firewall Zero Hour to Rainbow Six. That's the best I got, I guess.
And Firewall Zero Hour sucks balls. Here's the thing. Games are games, dog. Games are games. I don't give a crap who makes them. One of my favorite games, Stifled, is made by an indie guy. And that's better than 95% of the games we have on the market. They got what it takes. Like Just in Time Incorporated was made by two guys. So clever. And
no, look, there's definitely a bar, and I said the more. I mean, I brought it up before the podcast, and it's like I look at VR as coddling it, and being like very like nurturing VR. We got to nurture this baby and kind of make sure it goes right where we want to go. But now we're 2.5 years deep into PSVR, and or coming up on 3 years for the other headsets, and like how much more nurturing is there going to be? Like there should be. Like at what point do we expect bigger, better games? And I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm not sure where the line is drawn as far as when we just say no to,
can the answer be now?
But the problem is that, like, if we do that, sorry to cut you off, but if we do that, then like we might not see games for a while. There's so few AAA games out there that I don't know. It's a question I'm asking myself. I have no answer yet, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure where the line is. Go.
So I agree the comparison is not fair to do Skyrim versus Mage's Tale of the Wizard. But when I say that, I mean in the sense that, like, okay, would I rather play as a wizard in Skyrim for 10 hours, or would I rather play as a wizard in Mage's Tale or the Wizards for 10 hours? And Skyrim is going to be the best. You can cut out 75% of Skyrim, and it is still a better game than Mage's Tale and the Wizards. I don't need to go to towns. I hate going to towns. I don't want to ride a horse. I want to shoot fireballs at enemies, and it's so much better in Skyrim, and they didn't even mean for it to be that much better. It just happened because it's a game design they play tested and was like, oh, this doesn't work, let's fix it, and they fix it. Although apparently with a patch they kind of unfixed it. I haven't tried it since, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So what would you guys rather have? Would you rather have kind of a machine gun type of games in which, like, we get a bunch of PSVR games, but they're all kind of average and intermixed is like one really good game? Or would you rather, what VRGrid was mentioning, okay, we don't see a game for 3 weeks and it's a good game, and then we don't see another game for a month, and then it's another like baller game, and then intermixed are these little crappy average games? Which would you rather have?
I think it's a double-edged sword. I mean, like I said, I come from weird. Like you said, I've played everything. I've reviewed most of it, so I'm coming from a weird point where I've played everything. I've just, like, people who have, like, I never even heard of that game before. I mean, even you last week were like, I don't even know. Like, don't buy that game. I never heard of it. So like that's out there, and I've played everything. So I'm getting really sick of give me a wave shooter. I want to blow my brains out. I'm sorry to everyone who's still developing a new wave shooter game. Why at this point are you making another wave shooter? Unless your game is so exceptional and so amazing, stop. And it's that kind of, I'm getting burnt out on the mediocre. I'm not going to say I'm not, and I need to see bigger, better titles. But do we exclude the mediocre and just wait for those big titles, or I don't know? And to answer, you said Mage's Tale, Wizards, or Skyrim. If I was on a desert island, I could choose one game. It'd be Skyrim. There's my answer.
Okay. Well, so I understand the argument you're coming with. It's almost an economic argument in the sense that, even though these games aren't AAA titles, we need to support them and try to promote them and bring more developers into the fold. And I agree with you to an extent. One of the things I like about VR and the reasons I enjoy covering only VR and PlayStation VR is because we're seeing an odd proportion of indie developers to major developers in this arena. So you can get really interesting things like Just in Time Incorporated and Verti-GO Home, in my opinion, and they get proper coverage and people actually play them and try them out because they're not constantly getting drowned out by Spider-Man or Sekiro or whatever flavor of the month big AAA budget title game is coming out. So these smaller developers actually have a chance because even though the installed audience is smaller, the people who want to play these games, it's like there's a more active, rabid fan base that's willing to purchase even games that aren't that good. So I think there's a health in there that we're trying out new things and new ideas with new developers who are thinking about games differently. So I think that's good. And you're right. I should be positive about some of these games. And maybe that's why I'm willing to be negative about Mage's Tale and Wizards is because they're not just indie developers. These guys have been around a while. In Exile Entertainment, these guys – I don't know about Carbon Studios, but you can tell by the
a lot smaller. This is Wizards was their second or third game, and their first one was brutal. Like, they're a smaller studio. inXile was funded by Oculus, so they definitely had a little more money backing them. I don't know too much more than that, so I can't really say like they were like some AAA studio. But yeah, it's a weird line where, like, you know, the games have value. Even a game I give a 4 to, a 4 out of 10 has value. There's value there, but there's a price point attached to that as well. I mean, if Animal Force was like $5, for $5, if you like wave shooters, there's some interesting VR mechanics. All right, go for it. But at the same time, you know, that it's never gotten low to that low price. There is value in worse content, but it has to come to a point. So I don't know. I could rant about this for hours, but it's a weird thing I've been thinking about a lot lately, as far as, you know, it's value versus time, and what we as VR consumers should be expecting at this point. We're 3 years deep, and, you know, the only AAA studios developing games are Bethesda and Ubisoft. I think those are like two that are really kind of committed a bit. I mean, EA
Capcom made Resident Evil, and then this stopped.
Yeah, so, and I mean, and that was 100% funded by PlayStation. So, I mean, it wasn't even Capcom. They were just basically fed money by Sony to be like, make our VR game. And that's a big part of it too. I mean, obviously, I think this generation of VR, the big studios have kind of not written it off, but kind of, they're basically waiting for the next gen. And I'm hoping by then things change, because if they don't, if we're seeing the same rate of games coming out as we are now, it's trouble. It's huge trouble for VR, and I really hope things change.
Yeah, no doubt, dog. No doubt. Well, we are running short on time, so are there any parting shots you want to take or anything?
No, I mean, I give my grievances. I love you guys as long as you can be, as stupid as you can be. And I'm not saying you, Adam. I'm saying both of you equally.
You're talking to the guy who gave Verti-GO Home an 8.
Right. But I mean, someone else gave Pop-Up Pilgrims an 8 as well. So
first of all, I think I gave it a 7, and that I admit that was a huge mistake. Alex tries to defend his answer and his rating.
I'm a man of integrity. Walker, I gave Walker a 7.
But no, I love you guys. I'll still listen, even though I heavily disagree with you sometimes. I love it. I love different opinions, and you guys do kick a lot of ass. So I'm just sucking nuts here now.
Oh, well, that you are too kind. Thank you very much for joining us, and come on anytime. I want to fight with you as much as I can.
Absolutely. I'm sure I'll listen to the first segment and third segment. I'll have something to argue with next week. So
there you go. That's perfect. Well, yeah, we appreciate you joining us, my friend. And for the rest of you listening, we got a big surprise for you coming up in the next segment. We got our PSVR March Madness Bracket coming up. Oh, boy, I've been waiting for this for a long time. Love March Madness. Love PSVR. Let's mash them together. So thanks again, VRGrid. Stick with us, guys. We'll talk to you in the next segment.
We really run it even when we walk. We really run it even when we walk. I'm sick. Please trick. We broke. We rich. Get checkpoint. Got mine. Red dots. Stop sign. We really run it even when we walk. We really run it even when we walk.
All right, welcome back to PlayPSVR, the podcast. And so this is a special segment that I've been waiting for a little while. And because I don't know about a lot. Most of our viewers and listeners are from the States. But if you're not from the United States, we have something called March Madness here in the United States. We have collegiate basketball tournament in which the top 64 teams in the nation compete in one tournament to eventually crown the winner of college basketball. And it's one of the best 4 weeks of sports because it's so many games and they have wild upsets because obviously the 64th team should not beat the number 1 team. Obviously, it's like if you rank teams, it just shouldn't happen. Yet because it's only one game, there's a very high degree of uncertainty and error, and literally anything can happen when you play one game, especially in a sport like basketball. So everyone loves March Madness. So what we decided to do is do a March Madness of PSVR games. Alex, are you as excited for this as I am?
No. Okay, so here's what I'm Yeah, I don't care about March Madness. It's actually the first year I haven't filled out a bracket. So it's really common when March Madness comes around that even people who don't watch basketball will fill out a bracket. They just randomly fill out a bracket, and everybody at the office will bet on whose is going to win. And then if you win, you get money, pizza, something stupid like that. I don't know what the prize is going to be.
Nerd slushy.
A Sonic, that's it. A Sonic, Adam, I don't know how we're going to decide. There's going to be, you and me are going to be winners and losers. There's going to be a Sonic Nerd slushie at the end of this. But yeah, I'm excited about this because it's PSVR related. How about that? Does that tickle your fancy, Adam?
That's right. That's right. And so what we have here, we took a random number generator, and we took the number of games that are in the PSVR catalog, and we ran 64 random numbers that associate to their number in the PSVR catalog. And so just like the March Madness bracket, 64 teams broken up into 4 different regions, and then it's just 2 by 2. In this case, games will face each other, and then they will continue in the bracket, and eventually we'll get down to the Elite 8, the Final 4, the Big Kahuna, and then the best PSVR game in the bracket. So, and we do want to, I guess, stress here, it's randomly generated. So this doesn't necessarily mean it's the best game in PSVR. It might be.
I'm going to call it the best game.
It is Alex's best game for the PSVR. And what we're assuming here is that we each have $10. Each game is $10. Which one would you take? And so we're going to ignore price, where you could consider the length of the game, but we're going to assume that everything is $10. And we're going to go through the first 2 rounds today like we are going to do, or they have done, for the bracket. And our regions are P, S, V, and R. So are you ready to go through region P, Alex?
Yeah, take me to the P zone, my friend. Take me straight to the P zone.
Straight to the PP. P to the P to the E. Okay, this is a game that I've already mentioned, and we have very different thoughts on this, Alex. So this is going to be an intriguing one. Our first matchup of the PSVR March Madness bracket is Verti-GO Home versus Here They Lie. So what are you thinking? Which one of these games are you buying?
I haven't played Here They Lie. I've heard really good things about it. It was freaking free, and I still haven't played it. Duquesne made me really want to play it. Everything I've read about it sounds awesome. Sounds like something that's right up my alley. But, Adam, I haven't touched it yet, and you have. However, on the other side, Verti-GO Home is like the love of my life, man. If you have not read our review yet, go on PlayPSVR.com, read that review, because it is freaking sweet. I love this game. But I don't think Adam feels the same way I do. I don't think a lot of people feel the same way I do. $10. I would buy Verti-GO Home, but Adam, what do you got coming back at me? I have a feeling you're going to just talk to me.
You are an idiot. Don't go to our website and read the Verti-GO Home review, because you will be misled unlike any time you've ever been misled in your life. Here's the thing. Verti-GO Home sucks. I don't think Here They Lie is that great. I mean, it's good. It's good, but I don't think it's great. But in this matchup, here's the thing. It's a longer game. It's more thought out. There's more suspense. It actually looks like they didn't make it in Microsoft Paint. I mean, it's clearly, to me, the better game. $10, I think that's a fair price for it. Verti-GO Home should be less than $10. Verti-GO Home has 0 replay value, where Here They Lie, there are a couple little things that you can do after the fact. I'm going to say Here They Lie. Surely you don't truly.
How are we going to get through this list if we can't even come to an agreement on the first winner of the first competition? Adam, Verti-GO Home, I think it's worth $12. Me personally, I'd pay $20 for it if I knew what I was going to feel for this game going into it. You haven't put the time that I put into it, Adam. Here it is. I would pay $10 alone just to have the soundtrack. And the only way now,
not a toy.
It's not a toy. It's not a toy. Adam, I'm going to give you Here They Lie, but I want you to remember this. Put this in your pocket. I'm going to pull out a veto card next time you want to override a game choice of mine. How about that?
There's no way, because that's a fair choice. Okay, what's the next matchup, Alex?
Next matchup is Trackmania Turbo and Space Pirate Trainer. Adam, I've played both of these. I don't know if you've played either one, but I'll let you discuss your opinions on them first.
I mean, I haven't played Space Pirate Trainer, but I know that's better than Trackmania Turbo because one has a very small VR mode, and then 2 sucked even the VR mode it did have. SPT all the way.
SPT, Space Pirate Trainer, baby. It's a much better game than Trackmania Turbo. All the way. I love it. Let's go for it. All right.
Let's go an easy one. We like it. Okay, next one. We got Intruders Hide and Seek versus Cavernous Waste. So this may be a little unfair because I'm going to be honest. I haven't played Cavernous Waste. I did play Intruders. It was a good game. Great concept. Pretty well executed. Suspense was great. Not too scary. Good plot. Multiple endings. I mean, to me, it's definitely got to be Intruders. Cavernous Waste looks like fecal waste.
So I was a fan of Descent and Terminal Velocity, those old school games. Cavernous Waste came out before we had a website and podcast, so I never had a chance to get a copy of this game. And there's just been too much to go. I haven't gone back to be able to play it, so I'm sorry, I can't really defend it. Intruders seems like a quality game, so I'm going to go ahead and concede this. Yeah, we'll give it to Intruders. Cavernous Waste, you look good, you look quality. I haven't played you. Adam's played Intruders. He likes it. All right. Up next, we have Monster of the Deep with the busty Cindy Aram. And we have VRGrid with the busty lion or something like that. I don't know. You can touch animals. Can you touch? Can you touch? I don't
know if you can touch them, but you see.
Can you touch Cindy Aram?
In my mind, I can.
I think this is one of those sick squash matches where Monster of the Deep just drops VR right to the canvas right off the bat. Do you have anything else to say?
No, more replay value, better game. It's just better. There's no contest here.
I mean, VR I wouldn't buy for $2, much less $10. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so next we got Sneaky Bears versus Skyrim, and here. I'm picking Sneaky Bears all the way.
Yeah, I bet you are, you little dillweed.
Here is what's up with Sneaky Bears. You fight little bears, and you shoot them to release your panda buddy. How cute is that? How great is that? They're all teddy bears. The villain is like a teddy bear with a little pirate patch, and he's like evil. It's so cute, so fun. Not as good as Skyrim.
Yeah. Skyrim, it is the best version of Mage's Tale and the Wizard out now, so
you're gonna get robbed for that. Alex said it, not Adam. Go talk to him, not me. Oh, that's good. Oh, this is interesting. How about you take this, Alex, because you've played both these.
Up next, we have the matchup of the performance artists. First, we have the Invisible Hours, the wonderful, it's almost like a teledrama, but in VR. It's wonderful, I think. And then we have Hatsune Miku, Project Diva X, where the first synthetic pop star, she's been completely manufactured. She's not even a real person. Her voice isn't even real, but it's all there, and you can experience her concerts in VR. I've always wanted to be a diva. I've always wanted to be around a diva. So this is right up my alley, but I don't think it's going to take the Invisible Hours, which is I thought it was one of the masterpieces of the year in which it came out. Adam, your opinions?
I've only played Invisible Hours. Hatsune Miku isn't a game that really isn't. I'm not even interested in. However, I really would like to see a Cindy Aram and Hatsune Miku battle further along in the bracket. So my heart says Hatsune Miku just because I want the two busty women to face each other, but I haven't played it. I'm going to say probably Invisible Hours is better, but I don't know.
Hatsune Miku is not a busty woman. She's like a girl, but we'll just ignore that and give it to Invisible Hours, and let's move on to the next matchup before Adam gets us before Adam gets us in any deeper water than we're already in.
I'm going to get arrested tonight. Okay, another pretty easy matchup here. We got Thumper versus the Fear of Bugs. I couldn't even get through it. So I just put Thumper and move on.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to comment that it's kind of topical that these randomly appeared next to each other. Thumper, you are a bug, and Fear of Bugs, you're avoiding the bugs.
Oh.
Turns out that when you are the bug, it's much, much better.
Absolutely.
Next on the list.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. We have The American Dream and The Impatient. And this is an odd one because we haven't played The Impatient. but Adam has played the American Dream, but I still think that's going to play into his choice here. What do you say, Adam?
Gosh. There are two games that both aren't good. I can't. Unless it's against 18 floors, the American Dream can't beat anything. I wasn't even able to finish the game even after the updates because it still glitches out. I'm going to have to go the Impatient.
I bought the Impatient for $10, so I guess I have to pick that one because I haven't bought the American Dream, and it was $7.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. That's perfect.
Taking you to the S-hole. Taking you to the S-hole. S-hole division, Adam. What do you got for me?
It's the S region, first of all.
But, so it's the hole and everywhere around it. All right, gotcha.
That's right. So we got our first matchup was the S region. We got the number 1 seed, Cat Lateral Damage, versus the 16 seed, Football Nation.
Ooh, so here's the deal. Obviously, well, I haven't played Football Nation. You played Football Nation. I would say obviously Cat Lateral Damage is going to be the loser here. And it's kind of disappointing that we put this $10 price tag on all the games. Obviously, I don't want Cat Lateral Damage for $10, but, man, this game has hung around in the rankings because of its $2 or 99-cent sales that it goes on. However, I know people enjoy Football Nation, so I'm going to have to go with Football Nation. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It's Cat Lateral Damage is a joke. I mean, even if we considered it, it was only $2, it still wouldn't win. So Football Nation all the way. Hit us with the next matchup.
All right, up next we have the classic floor plan that you love. So I'm getting confused with 18 floors. Floor plan, and we have Kingdom of Blades, which Kingdom of is what I call it. So Adam, what do you think about this?
So I've played both these, sadly, and actually, I mean, floor plan I really do enjoy. I'm floor plan all the way. It doesn't have any replay value, but the first run through is it's fun, it's clever, it'll trick you a little bit, it's not horribly long, it's a game easy for beginners to start out at. Kingdom of Blades not only is a knockoff from Fruit Ninja, which already existed, but it's not a good knockoff. It's floor plan for me all the way.
Here's my question, Adam. What do you think is better, Kingdom of Blades or Verti-Go Home?
Oh, gosh. So that's tough because technically the gameplay of Kingdom of Blades is more fun, but the environment and the music and the way Verti-Go Home makes me feel is much better than Kingdom.
Yeah, embrace your feelings. Yeah, Verti-Go Home does something. Kingdom of Blades is just there. It's like it's like a vase that you'd see at Target that can't get sold even when it's like $4 compared to like the turd toy at Target. That I'm just going to say bad things about Verti-Go Home, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, we'll just move on. Hit me with the next game.
Yeah, so Dying Reborn versus Werewolves Within. So Dying Reborn sucks. Just straight up sucks.
There we go.
Werewolves Within, I like. Obviously, we've discussed the fact that it kind of is unfortunate that the player base isn't there, but that's really the only knock on the game that we have.
Yeah, Werewolves Within all the way. It's even with the limited player base, we played with like 2 other people and had a grand time. Adam got to figure out what a pansexual was, and I think he might be turning into one. Up next on the list, we have Deadland VR and Apollo 11 VR.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't played either of these.
I haven't played either one of these, but I like space, and I like the moon, and I don't like zombies, so we're going with Apollo 11 VR. I think it's going to. I think that one's going to go all the way, Adam. I think that might be a contender for the winner of the tournament.
Game we haven't played.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a pretty much I don't want to say free for all. I don't know, whatever you want to call this. Very easy decision. Beat Saber versus Tiny Tracks for our next competition. I just don't think is there anything you could say for Tiny Tracks to even give it a glimmer of hope?
So the people that have played Tiny Tracks say it's really, really good. I personally like slot car racing, and I like the weird perspective stuff. So there might be value in it. Had I played it, I might have an argument because I am not sold on Beat Saber like everybody else is, and that's just because I'm an idiot apparently. So I can't. I'm sorry, Tiny Tracks. I would love to have something for you, but I think we emailed you and you refused to give us a review code for your game, and that's why you're not winning in the March Madness tournament right now. Moving on, Adam. I should have proofread this list before Adam made it. We have VR Invaders versus YouTube.
Dude, YouTube is an app. It's in the PSVR catalog. I told you it's a random number generator.
My favorite game on PSVR is YouTube. I mean, I haven't played VR Invaders, and I don't really want to. And I do use the VR YouTube to see those K-pop girls dancing. You can look to your left, and there's one. You look to your right, and there's one. I'm going to go with YouTube here.
I'm going to go VR Invaders because you can watch YouTube on your effing phone, on your computer. You can watch it on your PS4. You don't need PSVR to watch YouTube.
I went to the waterfalls in Africa via YouTube on the PSVR, and it was a surreal experience, and it made me want to go to the Devil's Canyon or whatever they call it. It was amazing. So I definitely think VR Invaders is just – and YouTube is –
all right, remember when I won the first battle? Well, here's your win.
Oh, man, I don't want to pull it out there, but all right, we'll take it.
You pulled out, Alex. Way to go. You pulled out. Go ahead. You can pull out on the next one, too.
Paper Dolls, the game that Adam loves to hate, he was so mad about it that he even convinced the developers to change a control scheme. They changed it, and he refused to go back and reevaluate the game. Bandit 6 Combined Arms, I think it's a cell phone game that got ported to VR. I haven't played it. Doesn't sound too fun. I mean, it might be a little bit of fun. Just doesn't I think Paper Dolls is the winner here. It's an actual VR game.
Yeah, as bad as they did fix the controls, it is better. The game still isn't very intuitive, and it's not my super favorite, but it is better than Bandit 6.
I'm tempted to buy it, you know. I kind of want to get Paper Dolls. Just because I don't have enough to play, you know.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, next one is another, absolute landslide here. We got Chroma Gun versus Out of Ammo. I didn't play Out of Ammo. I've seen you play it. Chroma Gun is just, it's just simply better.
Yeah. Sounds like Out of Ammo is out of ammo. Am I right? Let's move on.
Boo. Okay, so that is the S region. So we are just chugging along, baby. We are now in the V region.
Take me down to your V zone, Adam.
Oh, the V zone and the B zone, the battle zone. Oh, that actually wasn't on our
It didn't make it. It didn't make it.
It's a shame. Okay, hit us with the first matchup in the V region.
So one of the first experiences that I enjoyed when I played PSVR was Allumette. It was a free little cute movie that you can see in 6 Degrees of Freedom. It's kind of interesting. And then another experience that I enjoyed on the PSVR was The Walker. It's a game that made me feel like I was in the gritty streets of China fighting very robotic, poorly animated, but graphically kind of interesting looking zombies and clay soldiers and stuff. Not a perfect game, not a bad game. Allumette, I don't really have any desire. I would never pay $10 for it. The Walker, I might pay $10 for it. I don't know. It's definitely a better deal than Allumette at $10. So The Walker it is for me, Adam.
That's true. I like it. This is a good matchup we have coming up right here, and it's the VR Worlds versus the Mage's Tale. So we've discussed our disappointment in the Mage's Tale, and I've always been – I understand VR Worlds and the fact that, okay, it's 4 experiences in one, but a couple of those are just absolute drags of experiences. Like the one where you just move your head like you're in Proton Pulse, that game – Danger Ball, I think is what it's called, like that game within VR Worlds. That is just a complete stinker of a game. London Heist is cool. The Ocean Descent is cool. This really is tough. I think we could argue this one, Alex. I mean, VR Worlds for someone who first is playing VR, I think would be better because it shows you more of the capabilities of PSVR. But Mage's Tales, it's 8 hours. It's an actual, like, plot-driven game. It has some interesting gameplay elements. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Put an age gate up. I was looking up what's in VR Worlds, and it's asking me to tell them my date of birth. And for that reason, I am not voting for VR Worlds. It's going to the Mage's Tale on this one right now. Mage's Tale for $10. I don't think the game is great, but $10 is a good price for it. And Mage's Tale pissed me off by asking me if I was 18. Of course I'm over 18, you idiots. Mage's Tale, it is.
Why would PS Worlds ask you that?
London Heist is a rated M game. That's probably why. Up next, Adam. This is a good one, and we might have to argue a little bit. Stifled versus Electronauts.
I will gut you. Stifled is the easily. I won't say easily. It's the winner. Here's the thing. Have you played Stifled yet, Alex?
No, I haven't.
Why do you hate me? Why?
Because you took Verti-Go Home away from me off this list. Now get out of my face.
I am so – here's the thing. I'm so difficult in games, and I tell it as it is. I don't sugarcoat crap, and I love Stifled, which should tell you that this game is good. It is suspense, great plot, insanely clever concept, perfectly executed. It is an amazing game. Honestly, this was my sleeper for the whole bracket. Straight up, I'm not going to lie. When I looked at the games on it, I was like, it's a sleeper. It's a deep sleeper. And
so
here's the thing. I will go back and I will give you Verti-Go Home because there's no way Stifled should lose here. Electronauts is a good game. It's interesting. Okay, there's some replay value there, I guess, because you can mix your own songs and stuff. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give it to Stifled because I kind of want to place – I can understand why you like Stifled. Stifled is the game that ripped off Blind, right? No, F you.
So I'm going to give it to Stifled, but I do want to say Electronauts is a very full-bodied experience. It's extremely fun. It's one of those things where it's not a game, so I don't feel motivated to get in and play it because I'm not that creative. But when I have the headset on and I'm playing Electronauts, I don't want to stop. I wish I could be in there all night, making jams, just listening to music and just having a hell of a time. Now, here's what I'm going to say. The reason Electronauts doesn't deserve to win is because I still can't figure out how to record songs in it. Even though they tried to explain it to me, I don't know how to save the music that I've made, and that really disappointed me. But I really like Electronauts. But we'll give it to Stifled because Adam's got such a stiffy for Stifled.
Dude, just play it. Just play it. We've had like 2 weeks of no VR games, and you still haven't played it.
Okay.
You suck. That's the next PSVR Golden Stream. Stifled. It's gonna be it.
That's a good idea. Up next, we have the Rabbit Hole and the Playroom VR.
What a segue. That's great. Speaking of holes,
the Rabbit Hole. So I really didn't enjoy the Rabbit Hole. Playroom VR gave us the Astrobot demo, and I feel like for that reason alone, it deserves to go forward. It's probably not going to win, but it deserves to beat the Rat. You get more enjoyment out of playing the free version of Astrobot demo than you'll ever get out of playing Rabbit Hole, and it's going to last you longer too because Rabbit Hole's like 15 minutes long, and the controls suck, and it made me lose my Taco Bell in my pants.
Okay, well, I'm not going to fight that. Oh, so we got to repeat Football Nations in here a second time. It lost. Wait, no, it won the first time against Cat Lateral Damage. Well,
and you hate. Okay, so up next we have Esper and Football Nation, and Adam hates Esper, so he's going to want to put Football Nation up here again. What's the deal with this? Is this like a UPenn and Penn State type situation? Did Football Nation come out twice? Is that what happened?
There are different versions of it, and I think, yeah, 2 of them were close together, and because I didn't do them sequentially at the same time and write them down, I didn't realize it. So,
okay, so for the sake of what's interesting, I say we need to put Football Nation forward. That way we could potentially run into a Football Nation versus Football Nation situation.
That would be good. Oh, yeah, let's do it. Okay, Football Nation wins. Okay, the next one we got here is Rigs versus Ultra Wings. Oh.
So I've played Ultra Wings. It's a fantastic game. It made me start researching how much it costs to buy an ultralight glider so I could go flying around my neighborhood. I didn't get one because it's like $20,000. People die in them all the time. However, Rigs is like that AAA multiplayer online action esports title that we all wish we had, and it came out at launch and nobody played it because everybody got sick when they played it. But if you get used to it, it's a very fun game. It's very polished and very beautiful. This is a tough call for me, but I think I'm going to have to go with Ultra Wings because it's getting continued support, and it really did something new, and it really showcased the potential of VR for me to be able to do things that I can't do in real life yet. If I win the lottery, I might buy an ultralight glider, and then you'll see me up in the skies recording this podcast up in the sky.
Or anyone could submit their application to be the next podcast host because Alex will surely die.
Surely.
Okay, so Ultra Wings, I'm going to defer to you there. Rigs, I wasn't a huge fan of. I haven't played Ultra Wings, so we'll give Ultra Wings the winner there. Next, we've got VR Apocalypse, which sucks the biggest rabbit hole I've ever seen, and Star Trek Bridge Crew, which I haven't played.
Star Trek Bridge Crew is like a Star Trek themed version of what's it called? The Werewolves Within. It's got more of a gameplay focus though. I have it. I really want to play it. There's nothing about it that seems like it would be bad, and I'm pretty sure I'd have a wonderful time playing it. VR Apocalypse I also haven't played, but if you have Apocalypse in your name, it's probably not a good game on the PSVR, so we're just going to go with Star Trek Bridge Crew here.
I'm happy with that. Next, we got, and you could tell us, actually, I played Evasion, and you've played Pierhead Arcade, so what is your argument for Pierhead Arcade?
Pierhead Arcade works very well. There's a lot of mini games you can play. If you really like carnival type games, like actual carnival, like you spend tokens and try to win a prize, this is a fun game to play. And there's little doodads you can win with prizes and tickets and stuff. You know, it's interesting. But to me, it showcases how awful it is to live in a world where you have unlimited currency and the bar is so low to continue and progress. I'm getting too existential here. I enjoyed Pierhead Arcade, but it made me feel weird about myself.
Such an idiot. Evasion is the biggest disappointment and the most misleading PSVR game of last year. We all thought it was going to be awesome, and then it just ended up being a wave shooter, which was horribly disappointing. And not only was it a wave shooter, it wasn't a good one. The plot sucked. The graphics were pretty. It was cool to have a couple different types of players to play as, but it just wasn't great. Multiplayer wasn't superb. Was Pierhead Arcade fun?
That's the thing. Like, it should be fun, but if you don't care about getting high scores, then it's not going to be fun. I enjoyed the time I spent with it, but, you know, I might have more fun with Evasion.
Yeah, I feel like maybe after you talking, I feel like maybe Evasion somehow wins.
Yeah, let's do Evasion. Just to make VR Martin happy.
There it is, VR Martin. All right, the final region, the R region. How about you run us down? What's the first matchup?
Run you down to the rectum with the R region. We have In Death versus Gungrave. All right, Gungrave, the game is kind of janky and crappy on the PS2, and this is kind of a port of that. In Death is a fantastic game, wonderful roguelike with all sorts of awesome crossbow and demons and skeletons and stuff. I pick In Death.
Yeah, I'm not going to even argue. Yeah, In Death is better. It gets a little boring after a while, a little repetitive, but it's a very good game, and I've yet to actually beat it, which I should probably work on that. But, you know, whatever. So now we've got Blind versus Vroom Kaboom.
So I'm going to pick Blind because I really enjoyed Blind. Adam didn't care for that much. However, I will say Vroom Kaboom, the thing I can say about that is that thank God Adam got us in trouble with the developers and they rescinded a review code offer because Adam made them mad. That way I didn't have to review this game. I played the free version of it and it just pissed me off. It's stupid as controls. Blind is at least a functional game that has a reason to continue going forward. So I picked Blind.
Okay. I'll go with it. Oh, you've played these games. I'll let you decide, although I really hope the upset is pulled here.
And the next two games you're the master of, so we'll let you talk about those. Up next, we have Star Bear Taxi and Borderlands 2. Now, I'm going to say it right now, Borderlands 2 with the aim controller goes forward. Just because they hear that, Gearbox, just because you added aim support, that's why you go forward, because otherwise you would not be going forward. Star Bear Taxi would be taking the cake because your game gives me headaches. And Star Bear Taxi.
You're telling me without aim support, Star Bear Taxi wins?
I enjoyed Star Bear Taxi. There's more of a place in my life for Star Bear Taxi than there is Borderlands 2, unless Borderlands 2 has aim support. How about that?
Oh my! This is why you can only trust 50% of the reviews on our website, and this is why. You picked Star Bear Taxi over Borderlands.
I didn't. I picked Borderlands 2. You big.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say it because we're a PG-13 podcast, but it rhymes with Reef. That's what you are. Adam, up next, we have Unearthing Mars 2 and Little Star. Which one do you pick?
I spent a lot of time in both. And, I mean, again, Little Star was in the PSVR catalog. It's blurry. Every time I've tried to use it, it sucks. Unearthing Mars.
Does it suck, Adam? Every time you hear Little Star, it sucks? Huh?
Let's see what you did there. No, I played a Always Sunny in Philadelphia thing via Little Star. I tried to watch this like weird Japanese like movie.
Oh, I bet it was weird in Japanese, huh? All pixelated. Yeah. Was it pixelated, Adam? Is that what happened? You watched some Japanese movie, it was all pixelated? You think it's because of Little Star?
Oh, no. It's the – okay.
Just move on.
Yeah. How Unearthing Mars is actually a pretty good game. It's a little one-dimensional, but it was it was pretty fun. It was lengthy. It was challenging. I enjoyed it. It was definitely better than Little Star, so that's what we're going for. Oh, my gosh. F me. Next one is 18 Floors versus VRGrid, which I don't like either one, but by golly, VRGrid is going to win in a landslide.
VRGrid is a cool game. If they had single player, it would be a phenomenal game. It kind of has single player, but not really. So VRGrid wins here.
That's right.
This is a tough matchup here.
Oh, I'm excited because you've played both these in Salaryman Escape and Brookhaven Experiment. I haven't played either, so it's all you, my dog.
This is a tough call. Brookhaven Experiment is a wonderful wave shooter. It's spooky. It has aim support. It's got move support. You can have a great time with it. It's a long game. Salaryman Escape is one of those things where the gameplay is simple. It's like a reverse Jenga almost. You just kind of move the blocks around so your guy can escape. But the atmosphere of it and the design of it and the music and the attitude of it, the whole apathetic, like ironic condescension that's going on through the whole game, I love it. Man, it's a tough call because they're both really good games. And here I am sitting here. You can't see me. I'm wearing a tie. I just got home from work and I'm feeling like a salaryman and I want to escape. And that's why I'm going to pick Salaryman Escape. That is the winner. That is the winner here. This is a slight upset. But Salaryman Escape gave me some feels, and Brookhaven Experiment just gave me some chills.
Oh, wow. You should be a poet.
I am. See?
Are you?
That was my poem right there. Okay. Adam.
Yeah,
let's tango.
It takes two. I can tell you that much.
We got a Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams with Crisis Brigade, Adam. How you feeling about this? How do you feel about Crisis Brigade's chances against Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams?
Well, the thing is, Mind Labyrinth sucks. It is very boring. It's poorly done. The graphics aren't as good. It definitely has to go to Brigade. It's not a perfect game. Brigade isn't in any stretch, but it's somewhat of a short-ish game. It's very challenging. It's a very unique concept. It's fun to play. It has aim support. It's the better of the two games.
Mind Labyrinth VR Dreams just got an update. I haven't had a chance to try it yet because I'm a busy man doing big guy stuff. Crisis Brigade's a more complete game. It's also kind of broken in its own weird way. I can see both games are trying to do something and they just can't quite get there. However, that being said, Crisis Brigade is probably the better bang for your buck, especially if we're talking $10. I'm going to go with Crisis Brigade. That's a good shout, Adam. Crisis Brigade it is.
That it is. And this is like I said, it's random generated. Holy crap, did it pick a good one? We got Wipeout versus Resident Evil 7.
This is tough.
Honestly, you put these in two separate regions, they could meet in the finals. And instead, they're meeting in the very first round.
Yeah, and we were talking about how it's almost unfortunate that RE7 got randomly put into this list. I think the only thing that can hang with it is Wipeout. So right now, this is Wipeout's chance to prevent RE7 from running over the whole list. So I want to try to give Wipeout the benefit of the doubt. Let's just run down the list of why Wipeout could be better than Resident Evil 7. It's got more content. It's got online multiplayer. It's got gameplay that almost everybody can enjoy. It doesn't require high amounts of skill to get the most enjoyment out of it. It's technically like 3 or 4 games all wrapped in one. Am I missing anything else out about it, Adam?
There's that one guy when I play on Twitch that I never hear from him regardless of what game I play unless I play Wipeout, and then he joins, talks to me, and then joins Wipeout and then completely decimates me because he's way better than I am. I can't get that with Resident Evil 7, so...
That's true. That's true. So here's what I'm going to say, though. We've made the best case we could for Wipeout, but Resident Evil 7, when somebody gets VR and they're like, why should I play PSVR? The first thing I think of when I tell them is, you should play Resident Evil 7, man. It's unlike anything else. this game came out so early in the career of PSVR, and I don't know what game has come close to it. The persistence, we had that discussion, but it's a really high bar that it's set, and it's got DLC, so it's got a lot of content. It's if you like first-person shooters, it's a first-person shooter in VR. It's Resident Evil 7. It wins. I'm sorry, Wipeout. I love you, Wipeout. I love you, Daddy. Resident Evil 7 wins.
Yeah, everything you said. Play the demo. The demo is better than 80% of the PSVR games. Just going to be honest. Okay, so that was the first round of the PSVR March Madness bracket. So now, like they do in March Madness, typically the first 2 rounds are in the first weekend. Well, this is the first weekend of the PSVR bracket. And so now we're going to go through the round of 32, and we're going to axe them down to even less, to the final 16, or what we call the Sweet 16. So let's get right to it. In the P region, we got Here They Lie and Space Pirate Trainer. So it's going to get a little tougher here, Alex. We're not going to have as many cakewalks. This is the first one. What are you thinking?
Space Pirate Trainer.
Here's the thing. I mean, I haven't played it. I've watched you play it. I agree that Here They Lie isn't a perfect game, and it is somewhat – it can drag on, and the ending to Here They Lie was awesome. But if I had $10, I would play Space Pirate Trainer. So.
In a world where there aren't a million wave shooters for PSVR, if Space Pirate Trainer came out and it was the only one, and you played it, you would think, "Wow, this could be a whole genre in and of itself." So for that reason, I think Space Pirate Trainer takes the cake.
Cake. All right. So next we have Intruders Hide and Seek versus Monster of the Deep. Now this...
You played both of these. I haven't touched either one of these, although I wish I was on the boat with Cindy Aram. You tell me what you're feeling, Adam.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm going to need your help to decide what do I prioritize here. Because here's the thing. The first playthrough, Intruders is more fun and a better concept. Monster of the Deep it's more blurry. The graphics aren't as good. It's just fishing, and when you play through the adventure mode, there's a little bit of a plot to it, and you shoot the fish rather than just like fish for them. But Intruders is a much better idea, and there's more suspense. But then Monster of the Deep, I still haven't finished the game. Like, there is a insane amount of content in it. So, I mean, do you go
here, Adam? Here it is. I got $10. I have not played either one of these games. They're both $10 in the store. Which one are you telling me to buy?
See, I personally like fishing too. So, do I consider, is this for me or is this for the general public?
General public, $10. Which one are you telling them to buy?
Oh my gosh, it's tough, dude. It's tough.
Make the call. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Quit watching Little Star and make a call.
Okay, this is tough. I'll go with Monster of the Deep because it has more.
That's what I would lean to also. I think it's probably ultimately a better game.
It works well. It's fun. You get Cindy Arham's tits. I mean, it's the whole package.
He said it. All right. Up next, we have Skyrim versus The Invisible Hours. And I'm in a similar predicament, but I think Adam's going to be able to chime in and take over the struggle I'm having. I really thought The Invisible Hours was something special. And I really enjoyed Skyrim, and Skyrim's good. But I think Skyrim lacks in the writing department and the story department. It gets a lot of praise for it, but I personally think it's lacking. There's a lot of weird video gamey type things happening in Skyrim, but in The Invisible Hours, it was something completely new in video games for me. And I just really didn't want to stop playing it. I wanted to continue consuming The Invisible Hours, but I didn't want to finish The Invisible Hours because I wanted there to be more of it. However, Skyrim's such a long game. It's got so many multiple play styles. It's got awesome archery. It's got fun sword fighting. It's got awesome wizardry. So where are you leaning, Adam?
I couldn't wait for The Invisible Hours to be over. So
that's who we're talking to, guys. Adam is the kind of guy who thinks Invisible Hours is dumb. All the smart people follow me.
No, I don't think it's dumb. I just don't think it's fun. And so for that reason, I'm going to vote Skyrim.
Rob Yescombe, writer of The Invisible Hours, I'm sorry.
Yeah, your
He's my
game
friend
isn't
on-
as good as Skyrim. Way to go.
He's my friend on Twitter sometimes.
Oh, okay. So next we have Thumper versus the Impatient.
Thumper.
Yeah, I mean, is there
Thumper-
really?
Thumper's a really underrated classic. That game's really fun. It's really fun for how simple it is. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
a cool game.
It is real cool. Okay, take us to the next region, Alex.
Taking you straight to the S zone, taking you to S town. We're going to take you down to the Football Nation and the Floor Plan. Adam, you played both these games. I want to argue for Football Nation just so it has another chance of fighting itself in a later round. But I think you might have liked Floor Plan better. What do you think?
This is the same dang thing, dude. It's like Floor Plan, the first playthrough. No, I guess, yeah. I'm going to have to go Football Nation. There's more replay value. The first time I played Football Nation, I was like, oh, this is cool. It's got multiplayer. The controls are the biggest bundle of sticks I've ever seen in my life. But Floor Plan is just, it's too short. It's not, I mean, it's definitely a game, but it can't go any further. I'm sorry, Floor Plan.
It's okay. We get it. Up next on the list, we have Werewolves Within and Apollo 11 VR.
Man, see, here's the thing. Like, Werewolves Within, I feel should win this, but I can't imagine Werewolves Within advancing this far into the tournament. But it's got to, right? I mean, the thing is with VR, one reason so many people like it is you actually play with other people who most of the time aren't douchebags, unless you're playing Firewall 0 Hour. And then they're so fun. I learned what pansexual was. We had great fun times together. And that is what Werewolves Within provides, along with a well-executed type, kind of like board game type of thing. Apollo 11's an individual adventure to space. I would say Werewolves Within.
Yeah, Werewolves Within takes it. Apollo 11's not even the best space-themed game, and I think people talk bad about it like it's kind of just videos or something like that. I don't know. I said the same thing about Everest and somebody flamed me, but yeah, I own Apollo 11. I should just freaking try these games that I have. Maybe that'll be our next golden stream is Apollo 11.
There it is. Okay, Beat Saber versus YouTube.
Let me make an argument for YouTube, Adam, before you declare Beat Saber the winner. YouTube VR on the PSVR is the only way that you can experience PlayPSVR on your PSVR. How about that?
Oh, no, that is a stunning argument. However, it doesn't matter because rather than listening to the ugliest two guys on the web, I got sabers in my hands and I'm swinging. What?
You got a saber in your hand and you're beating it.
And I'm beating I'm beating the saber until light turns out. Anyhow, I think Beat Saber wins this. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. Now, the next one, well, not the next one, but next week we're going to have holy crap, are we going to have an argument. But right now we got Paper Dolls versus Chroma Gun. So is there an argument for an upset here, Alex?
I don't think so. I mean, Paper Dolls might be a quality game, but Chroma Gun is an extra quality game. It's a superb game, so I'm going to have to just give that one the go.
Yeah, that one also, I think it's tied as my favorite puzzle game on the PSVR with Static. Paper Dolls just can't hold a light to it. So let's move on to the V zone, the V region, with V as in vagina.
Is that what the V stands for? All right. So we have the Walker and the Mage's Tale. And here's what I'm going to say, and people are going to hate me for this. I gave the Walker a 7, and I've said that I regret it. I might give it something more around a 6. I reviewed the Mage's Tale, and I gave it a 5. Just because I was so pissed off at the Mage's Tale for breaking in the middle of me playing it and me having to replay through it just so I could beat it. That made me so freaking mad. Fix your damn game. Make it work before you put it on the store. The Walker never did that to me. Now, the Walker's janky. It's got some really broken game design to it. But the game itself wasn't broken. Oh, I hate to go back on my review scores and flip-flop what's going to win here, though. I think the Mage's Tale wins. It has better writing. The combat's more fun, even though it kind of sucks. Here's the Walker and the Mage's Tail both have fun weapons to use and horrible, horrible enemies to use them on. That's the problem here. The Mage's Tail enemies suck to hit. I hate fighting them because they don't even react. You blow them off the thing and they just kind of slide around, not even moving. It's so freaking dumb. I hate that I'm going to advance Mage's Tail another round. It's such a piece of turd when you get down to it and you just think about it. Just think about it, people. Think about how the Mage's Tail made it this far. We should all be upset about it.
Well, here's the thing. I got good news for you, though. I also agree that Mage's Tail is better than the Walker, so we are going to advance that. But the next matchup is Stifled versus the Playroom VR, and the winner here will play Mage's Tail in the Sweet 16. And I'm very happy to introduce the winner of that matchup, which would be Stifled. And so next week, Stifled and Mage's Tail will be facing each other, and the Mage's Tail's run toward the Final Four will be over because Stifled is without a doubt a better game. And I have a feeling you're not really going to give me much pushback there.
I want to present a hypothetical. I'm not going to argue with that. But what if instead of Playroom VR, what if it was Astrobot? Now, would you have pushed Stifle forward?
Oof. Well,
I know it's not Astrobot. I'm just saying, what if? What if? Hypotheticals, man.
The thing is, you would have a very, very, very good argument against why Astrobot or for why Astrobot should continue. And I don't honestly know if I could really argue much. It would be like one of those Wipeout versus Resident Evil 7s for me. They're both fantastic game. But yeah, Astrobot would go ahead of Stifle.
Well, good thing Astrobot's not on this list because it would have swept it. What's a past of swept it? Swept it? Swept it. Would have swept it. Swept it.
Swept it. Swept it.
Swept it.
All
Football
right.
Nation versus Ultra Wings, Adam. What do you think?
I mean, I didn't play Ultra Wings, but I feel like Ultra Wings has to advance here. Football Nation's controls are just too wonky. No one really plays it anymore. It was cool, but not that cool.
And just like that, our dreams go down the toilet as Football Nation loses and Ultra Wings advances to the next round.
And twice. So funny. Well, they're still in the bracket above.
Yeah, but I wanted to see it find itself. Too bad.
Oh. Okay, Star Trek Bridge Crew versus Evasion.
So you've played Evasion. You have opinions on it. I haven't played Star Trek Bridge Crew, but of these two games, which one do I want to play more? Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Yeah, I mean, Evasion was just very disappointing. It's a wave shooter. No one plays online anymore. The plot wasn't very good. It just got very repetitive. It was like, oh, hold your shield up, shoot your gun, hold your shield up, hide, hold your shield up, use some special attacks, collect some energy, keep shooting the whole time. It's the one game that when using the aim controller, because I had to hit the trigger so much, it made like my finger or that tendon in my forearm sore. It was just.
Are you talking about Little Star?
Oh, yeah. Well,
we're talking about Evasion, Adam.
I thought, really? I thought we were talking about Little Star.
No, that's later. That's later.
Oh, oops. Oh, well, I don't know that. No, I think probably Star Trek Bridge Crew will advance. I like the multiplayer aspect of it. Everyone that played it really likes Star Trek Bridge Crew, so I'm not going to really fight for Evasion very much. All right, let's get R. Umpire R. Anyhow, In Death versus Blind. My quick thoughts are In Death is definitely better. Blind sucked a big nugget. They had so much potential and they effing blew it with a crappy. I don't even want to say the end of the plot of Blind wasn't very good. I just think they could have done so much better in terms of weird and mysterious, and they just didn't do it. I found it boring. I thought the puzzle sucked. In Death is kind of creepy, great gameplay. I say In Death without a doubt.
In Death is the winner here. I enjoyed Blind. Don't listen to Adam. Listen to me. I love these story-based games. I thought Blind was a very creative and inventive title. Granted, I haven't played Stifled, and Adam thinks Stifled is a better version of Blind. In Death is a more fun, more enjoyable, more lengthy, more polished game. It's a lot of fun. Okay, Blind also did the screw-up thing where I had to restart, but I didn't make it as far when I ran up into the bug on that. So, but I'll give it to In Death. It was way more fun. Just fun. Just exciting.
I will say if it's In Death versus Stifled, I would pick Stifled.
That's tough. Okay, yeah. Well, we'll do in-depth.
It's definitely, it would be tight, but Stifled's definitely, I think, better.
Getting tight.
Tight. Borderlands 2 versus Unearthing Mars 2, the battle of the twos. What is your argument for Borderlands?
You have full locomotion. You have a ton of guns. The game's really fun. It's, like 40 hours long. You got multiple characters, like an RPG. You got randomly generated guns, up to 1 billion different types of guns. And it beat Starbear Taxi, so it has the experience to get to the end of this tournament.
All right, so Unearthing Mars is not any of that. So Borderlands 2 advances. Alex. Eve Valkyrie versus Salaryman Escape. Take it on, big boy. Who's gonna win?
So you don't like Eve Valkyrie. You haven't played Salaryman Escape, so I'll take this one. Eve Valkyrie is a really fun flight sim game. The combat is great. The flying around is great. I really enjoy it, and it's beautiful, and it's fully realized, and it is just a spectacular game. Salaryman Escape, it's a good puzzle game. It has wonderful atmosphere to it. I hate that I'm even considering this. I want to push at first glance, I want to push Salaryman Escape forward to kind of spice things up a little bit. But Eve Valkyrie, when I play it, I have just such a good time. I used to wake up early in the mornings to get extra Eve Valkyrie time in my life. I need to go back to that game,
You got to give me – I know, but which one is it?
Salaryman Escape you can play by yourself. It's got lengthier single-player stuff. That's value to me. I don't like playing with people online. They're way better than me, and it makes the game unenjoyable. It hurts, but we're picking Salaryman Escape. Salaryman Escape goes forward. The upset.
Ooh, nice. I love how we call these upsets when really there's no seeding.
We're just randomly picking them.
Yep. So, I mean, whatever. Oh, this is a good one. Crisis Brigade versus Resident Evil 7.
Crisis Brigade has aim support, and you also get to shoot Donald Trump in the head, which I know you love, Adam.
I honestly could care less. Resident Evil 7 would be awesome with aim, but it's unnecessary. It's easily the better game, and it is going to march forward.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 is better despite not having aim support. Resident Evil 7 So it's a good point that we ended on that one. That was the last games on the list until next week when we go to the next round. And I just want to mention that we are developing a plan to make sure that some of these games don't just stomp the other ones. March Madness, the beauty of it, like Adam said, is the actual upset. So we're going to try to develop a little bit of probability, some statistics to try to, skew things into a more reasonable fashion. So that, it's not just a foregone conclusion what the end game is going to be. So what it's going to be now, obviously, Adam and I pretty much like all of the games that are left on the list.
That's not true.
Almost. So it's going to be left to chance a little bit, and we might see some surprises in the end. It's not going to be strictly Adam and I deciding what game we want to advance to the next round. And instead, we're going to let statistics run their magic, have some odds set. Does that sound good to you, Adam?
Dude, I love it. And so next week, as Alex said, we're going to have our Sweet 16, Resident Evil 7, Salaryman Escape, Borderlands 2, In Death, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Ultra Wings, Stifled, Mage's Tale, Chroma Gun, Beat Saber, Werewolves Within, Football Nation, Thumper, Skyrim, Monsters of the Deep, and Space Pirate Trainer. I know we're going to do the stats, but right off the bat, after looking, I would say right here we're going to have Skyrim, Beat Saber, Stifled, and Resident Evil 7. That's not a bad Final Four for completely randomizing what games we put in a 64-team bracket.
It's not a bad Final Four, but I don't want it to be a foregone conclusion. I would love to see, through the dice rolling mechanics, see Werewolves Within come all the way to the end and be battling it out with Resident Evil 7. That would be fantastic.
Dude,
it would be a dream come true.
I hope it's Football Nation versus Mage's Tale.
I would just be angry, and I'd
that's
so here's what I'm going to do. Between now and next time, I'm going to play Star Trek Bridge Crew so that we have actually played every single game on the list, and I'll have an argument for you there. But yeah, so having said that, I think we're ready to wrap things up. What do you think, Adam?
Well, I think I've been tagged by VRGrid. I've had some fun with March Madness. My team has already lost in March Madness, my team I root for in college. So I was depressed there, but this made me happier, Alex. I appreciate you going through this with me. I'm ready for next week. I mean, I'm titillated. I'm ready to go.
Well, keep your shirt on, Adam, until next week. So thanks for listening to Play PSVR, the podcast. And I just want everybody to know we love PSVR. Last week, we got really heated. We don't want you guys to get it twisted. We don't hate PSVR. We love it. Don't let the haters out there misconstrue our purpose here, all right? I want to say thank you to the VRGrid for joining us again. We might bicker with you, buddy. We like to pick fights with you and argue with you. It makes it so much more fun, man. We don't want just people agreeing with us. I love arguing with you. It gives me a meaning in life, and it's all in good jest. Everybody, be sure to find us on iTunes and share us with your family. And we want you to take the earbuds when you're listening to us. I've told you to do this before, but just do it again. It's been a while probably. You've probably been watching us on YouTube with the family in front of the TV all together, but now we're going back to more just podcast, just audio. So, your mom's cooking dinner, just sneak up beside her and just take one of the earbuds out and stick it in her ear while she's chopping up the carrots, making that soup for you. Let her listen to some of the Play PSVR podcast. Let Adam and I reverberate off of her eardrums and into her soul. Then she can find us on Twitter and she can hit us up in the DMs. Our account is @PlayPSVR. Or you can get mad about that and find us on Reddit and trash talk us on Reddit. Our username is PlayPSVR. Or if your dad finds out and he wants to send us an email, he can email us at playpsvr@gmail.com. All right, that's it. We're done this week. Goodbye.